All right. Welcome back. Now, I said this is a classic. And I mean that. I stand on that. I know some people will say, oh, what are you talking about? It wasn't no classic. No, I'm going to stick with that. It was a classic because this is WMMA. I don't believe there's much that needs to be done for a fight to be considered a classic. Because, let's be honest, there's not that many fights that are considered a classic that are female fights. In general, when you think of a classic fight, you don't think of a female fight. But I feel like this fight stood out or stands out because of the aggression. And it was all aggression because Macy does not have good form. And really neither does Silva. I'm not saying that they put on display top-notch elite skill. No, I'm not saying that. Just based on the entertainment value, I felt like for as long as it lasted, that it was a classic. Burned into my memory anyways. Now, Macy got performance of the night. I disagree with that, but it was a memorable fight. Disagree with performance of the night because she lost the first round. Clearly lost the first round. But this was the second round. It ended in the second. And I can't say that Silva would have won the fight because it looked like Macy was making a comeback. She was making a comeback when the fight ended. And I think she would have done better. As long as she wouldn't have been stopped, Macy would have done better in the third round had it gone into the third, because she had pretty much weathered the storm. The storm is the first round. I believe that in the first round, Silva has knockout power. In the first round, she has knockout power. And, she sort of emptied the clip in a few moments. So some of that was because she was gassing out. Silva started to gas out. And Silva's like that. I don't think Silva will ever be the champion. And I don't think she will ever even fight for the belt. I don't think Silva ever fight for the belt. Because she's an emotionally unstable woman. She just cannot control her emotions. And that shows a lack of discipline, if you ask me. But the thing is, they have a style that works well together. And I knew that it would be a style like that would clash. Well, that meant fireworks. They have that style, if you ask me. Silva, on top of that, was desperate to overcome that loss. She lost her most recent fight. So she had a little more urgency, fought with a little more tenacity than she usually does in the first round. I mean, she was throwing like 5-shot combinations in the first round. She was trying to get Macy out of there. But you could just tell somebody was going to get stopped. And this might sound strange, but I want to see a rematch. I felt robbed the way that fight ended. I do believe it should have been stopped because that cut was insane. I do believe it should have been stopped, but I think they should run it back. I mean, it was a classic in the making. Their styles just didn't agree well with each other. And Macy trying to run, she's trying to stay away. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, what are you doing? As soon as the fight started, Macy's starting with this lateral movement. For what? Silva was taken down over and over in her fights that she lost. The fight with Raquel Pennington, she just kept getting taken down. I thought Macy was about to come in here and try to take her down. But it looked like Macy was trying to stick and move. Came in trying to stick and move. And she was losing. She was getting tore up. Macy trying to do an Ali impression in that first round. He was getting smacked around. Taking heavy shots. Taking some serious body shots. She was destroying Macy's to the body, man. Don't know how much of an impact it made, but she was putting it in. Some good body work with knees and punches. And she was just on fire on the first round. Silva was on fire in the first round. Second round, I feel like Macy her fire was growing. And it was scary. Let me tell you, in the second round, I would have rather have been Macy's coach. The first round would have scared me. But when I started looking at the second round, you could tell Macy took the best Silva had to offer. That's what it seemed like to me. Like, I've tasted her best. Now I'm going to grow into my best. It looked like a brilliantly executed game plan, if that was the game plan, which I don't think it was, because Macy came out moving around. So she wasn't trying to conserve no energy. She come out moving around like that. But her tenacity was starting to, her aggressiveness was gradually starting to increase, and it was looking bad for Silva. Because Silva, I think, was about to get more and more exhausted. Now, I know I'm not going to see no rematch. I seriously doubt that there'll be a rematch. But I hope there is. But with the likes of Kayla Harrison in the division, I seriously doubt it. I think that was a huge jump in the ranking for Macy. That was a huge jump in the rankings for Macy. That was a fight where Silva had to fight to keep her spot, and she lost. And that was a legit loss. She hit you with an elbow so hard that you just could not continue. It is what it is. So we'll see what Macy can do. I got a little more respect for Macy after this fight. She's a pretty tough fighter. I don't think she'll win the belt, but, she could. I think she could. I don't think this division is that, difficult. Raquel Pennington, Raquel is tough. But she's like a dull champion. She's like a dull fighter in general. Well, we'll see what happens. Good for Macy. I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was a lot of intensity, action, and aggression. Right? Good job. Now, the other fight was difficult to watch. Michelle Watterson gets beaten up again in her last fight. Got beat up in her last fight, and it was a similar beating. Oh, well, no, it wasn't. But she was taking a lot of shots. She was taking a lot of shots in this fight. She lost to Jillian Robertson. Now, when you're getting pieced up by Jillian Robertson, retirement might be a good idea. But after she lost to Rodriguez, I was saying that she should retire because she's looking more and more affected by shots in general. And Watterson, I look at her as a fighter who was ruined by the absence of an atomweight division. Even though I don't think this fight had anything to do with size, I don't think Robertson had a size advantage. I know it looked like she did, but I don't think she did. I think she looked a little bigger than Watterson. I think that was all an optical illusion, because Jillian is pale white with a bright red outfit, whereas Watterson is in all black. That's when I saw their outfits, I made a decision in my mind not to even pay attention to the size difference, because you won't be able to tell with the difference in outfit. You can see Jillian's outline is so easy to see her, whereas that black Watterson wearing, it's really hard to make a judgment on the size difference. And in situations like this, I don't even waste time looking for a size difference, because I don't even trust my own ability to judge the size of the fighter in the black. Right? Another reason why I don't think there was much of a size difference is because your girl, Jillian Robertson, has fought at atomweight before. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, she has. She has fought at atomweight before, and she actually shared some photos that I'm going to share here if I can find them. But yeah, optical illusions. If you look, Jillian is small. She's a real small, flat chick. She's got no butt. She ain't got no butt. Jillian is a flat pancake butt. She got a thick, somewhat of a thick torso, but she's real small. Okay, I can't find these. I can't find those photos. But on one of her posts, she got a photo of herself at atomweight, of how she looked when she was at atomweight. I can't find that. That's too bad. She recently posted it too. I remember looking at it, but I can't find it no more. But anyway, my point is, I believe she would have done this no matter, I think here it is. I think this would have happened. I don't think weight was a factor. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, this is her at 115, 125. And this is at 105. When was this? I don't remember. It says she was desperate to get a fight. Okay, this is at 105. So she has a weird body. She's definitely got a weird body where she can go to those 3 different weight classes. So I question that there was a size advantage for Jillian. I think the size was somewhat even. If you look, Michelle Watterson's butt much bigger than Jillian's, and female fighters carry most of their weight in their hips, thighs, and buttocks. Hip, thighs, and butt. And when you're talking about glutes, it's a huge difference between Michelle Watterson and Jillian Robertson. Jillian is just a much better wrestler, and Watterson can't deal with her wrestling. I'm not going to say that Watterson would have dealt with her at atomweight or nothing like that. I think the weights was fair, and I think Watterson just can't deal with that style. And what really hurt Watterson is the striking, because she was getting pieced up. When you go in, you start getting knuckled up by Jillian Robertson, the fight is over. Just flat out. You go in there, you taking knuckle sandwiches from Jillian Robertson with her noodle punches. It's time to hang them up. And that fight started, and she started knuckling Michelle's face. I'm like, it's only going to get worse after that. And what it looked like Watterson, her whole experience in the UFC, just looked like she was fighting girls naturally bigger, and she just got the fight knocked out of her, beaten out of her. She struck me as a fighter who just had all the fight beaten out of her, even though, I felt like she was in her prime. But I feel like she doesn't take shots as well as she used to. She seemed real effective by shots. And it looked bad against Marina Rodriguez. She looked so affected by each shot. It kind of looked unusual. So I do agree that retirement was a good idea. Now, Jillian, I think she's better at 115, obviously, because if she can't get you down, there's a real good chance she's going to lose. Jillian Robertson, she better stay at 115 or try her best to avoid 125, but I don't see her, being a threat to the title at 115, Jillian Robertson. Striking just ain't there. Like, it ain't there. Really ain't there. And, there's some fighters who can deal with her wrestling. And some fighters with better jiu-jitsu. Remember, Taylor Santos had better jiu-jitsu than Jillian Robertson. I know she was stronger, but I believe she had better jiu-jitsu as well. Of course, you got fights like Macy Barber. There are certain types of fighters that just gives Jillian problems. So, but hey, who knows? Anything can happen. I like watching Jillian fight just to see if somebody can deal with her wrestling. Anybody who can deal with her wrestling, you better look out for them, because I think she has a lot of physical strength, like wrestling strength. That's when I saw her lose to Taylor Santos. That's why I knew Santos was a difficult fighter to deal with as well. But anyway, those are my thoughts on last night's fight, and I will leave it there.